Today I am showing you an acrylic pour painting I just did this most recent week. It's about my third try. I heard from a subscriber of mine, Golden Reward, that he enjoys acrylic pour painting and I thought I'd give it a shot. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into showing the materials I'm using. I'm just using some cheap craft paint from Michaels called Craft Smart. If you buy them singularly, they're usually about 70 cents a bottle. For this painting I'm going to be using some blues, turquoise, white, probably some greens and purple as well, so I'm just going to show those to you now. I'm not sure exactly what I have planned for this pour, but we're going to give it a shot. Next, I'm going to be showing you some mixing cups I like to use, and they're cheap from the dollar store. I thought starting out it would be a very expensive project, but it really wasn't. I'm also using popsicle sticks to stir with and gloves, and here's some 100% silicone lubricant I bought from Amazon for about $5, as well as Floetrol for our pouring medium, so this allows the paint to flow when you're pouring it. You can get professional artist grade pouring medium, but Floetrol is about $7 for two big huge things on Amazon. Then last fall, just to catch the mess, I've got a cheap plastic party plate. So in this first cup I'm going to start mixing some of my colors. There is a ratio that I do, so it's usually going to be about 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. I noticed that that works really well. So in this first cup I add all of my Floetrol that I'll be using, keep that to the side. In another cup I do keep some distilled water. It's important for the water to be distilled so that it doesn't have any minerals from tap water going into the paint. So I just take my miniature cups here, shake up some paint, put a little bit in, I just really eyeball it, add my Floetrol after, and then add a splash of water, mix that all together. I just want a consistency that's almost like buttermilk, I would say. So I'm just going to speed this up a little bit right now, and we're going to get going. Okay, so now that I've got all my paint mixed, I'm setting out my platter, putting out a few of those reused cups just so that I can set the canvas on it, and that way the paint can drip off. It creates a good stand for it. And as you can see, I'm just using one of those cheap flat canvases you get. It's not a traditional canvas. Something I did notice using these is if you have way too much paint on it, it can warp when drying, so be careful. But to start off, I'm just going to be pouring some white down and moving that around the canvas. I try to avoid using hands or a scraper to spread it as much as possible, but if you have to do that at some point just to get all the edges covered, it really does even out after it's dried. But being able to spread it and just drip it across the canvas for an even layer does look really nice and prevents any changes in texture when it's drying. Alright, so now that we've got the the white paint pretty evenly spread, I'm going to start pouring. I was thinking I would start with a swirl. Now my swirl didn't come out too nice because the paint came out too fast and you got big blobs everywhere, but I'm just having fun with it. I tend to like to start with my dark colors first, so I'm going in with a nice black on the outside, and then next I'm going to be adding some blue and just kind of trying to go in the same fashion I had with the black. This point I was, hoping to have a really nice spiral, but I realized that wasn't going to be happening, so I just kind of put it wherever it would go, really, and it already looks kind of cool, just the way that it's flown out. And then next is going to be our greens and blues. I feel are just so pretty, so we're going to add that here, maybe add some on the edges and kind of even out, get a nice spread of the colors. Next is going to be purple and green. I feel go together really well. And so I'm just going to continue dripping this paint on for a moment more. Some darker blue. You don't have to use a ton of colors. You can even make some gorgeous paintings just with a couple. But I've just kind of wanted to really go all out on this one, use quite a few. And then the last fall is just a little more of that turquoise color because I really enjoyed that. I honestly could have just left the painting like this and it'd be pretty cool looking, but in a moment I'm going to be using plastic wrap actually and dropping that on top. And in this case I actually forgot to add the silicone into the paint I was mixing, so I don't know if this is going to work too well, but I did add silicone right on top. I already see that it starts to create some cells there. And with the plastic wrap, I'm just going to lay that on top and tippity tap tap that down in a couple places. You don't have to press too hard, but putting it in and pushing it down in some places can create some cool textures. I'll even take my fingers and kind of drag them across it or swirl the paint underneath. You can't really see what it's going to look like when you're doing this because, trust me, it's going to look different in just a second here. Then I just pull it up from all the corners, meaning them corner to corner diagonally. And then right as I'm lifting it, I'm going to just spin it a little bit to create a different effect. And I really like those cells that are forming in the corner. It kind of looks like ocean waves. And I'm just going to let the paint slide around a little, spread some colors. I am going to forewarn you that it is going to look quite different when it dries. Sometimes the paint will spread more, the colors will create more cells. But I just love watching it as it's, moving around, and it's just so fun, and you never know what you're going to get. And it kind of takes away some of the control that you have as an artist, because when you're doing a standard painting, you have control of where the paint goes. You can layer, you can stop, you can take away. With pour painting, it really puts you at the mercy of the paint. Now I'm just going in with some overshots to show you guys some of the cells I got in this piece. I kind of think it almost looks like an oil slick in the ocean, and just watching the paint drip on the side can be really satisfying. But let me know if you guys have any questions about this piece or any other questions about ratios. I'd say that this piece was pretty successful. I'm hoping it wasn't too much paint to warp the canvas, but we'll see. And so I'm just going to go ahead and throw in some more shots of this here. I just really like how it looks, and I'll be back with you guys soon. Okay, so we're back. It's been sitting for a couple minutes here, and I'm just going to move it out of the way. I have some other cups set up to the side. I'm just going to set it on there. I actually just had an idea. So that plastic wrap collected a bunch of paint from this piece I just did. So I was thinking I would take another flat canvas, spread some white on it, and maybe instead of adding colors by pouring, I will just take the paint collected on the plastic wrap and put that down. I've never tried this before, but we're going to see how it turns out. I'm really excited. Okay, so I've spread the white across the canvas as pretty evenly as I can, and I'm going to take that plastic wrap now and just lay it down. It's pretty messy. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm going to tap this down a little bit and see where that goes. So just bear with me here. This is going to be something new for all of us. And I'm just going to lift it off in the same way and twist in just a second. Okay, so that is very different. The colors are so muted, probably because they all mix together. But I really, really like it. It looks very, very swirly and kind of makes me think of turbulent waters. I'm just going to kind of slide this bit. I guess there's not much to slide, but I'm going to show you guys how this turns out. Well, turned out. It's already pretty much done, but we'll get some more shots here. I really like this, and I definitely think I'm going to try this some more in the future. So as you can all see from those various camera shots and all the close-ups I've been doing in this video, I really love how these have turned out. I want to thank Golden Reward again for inspiring me to just give this medium a shot finally after watching it and watching videos for a couple years. I definitely want to do more. Let me know if you guys have any, techniques or tips to give me on different methods I can try, and we'll explore this medium together. As always, thank you so much for watching, and happy painting.